Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Batman Be Vlogged, the weekly vlog series where I review an episode of Batman Beyond after watching it for the very first time. Today we are looking at episode 27, Eyewitness, from a story by Rich Fogel, written by Hilary J. Bader, and directed by Butch Lukic. As always, because I do these unscripted, there is a blanket spoiler warning in place, and I have to say, this is a very stellar episode, just like another all-time great for me. There's been a lot of meh in season 2. I talked about this the last few times as well, but we seem to really be on a bit of an upswing in terms of episode quality for season 2. I think it kind of had a weak start, but it's steadily building up, and this may be one of the best. I'd have to look at an episode list and rewatch my reviews to kind of see my thoughts, but Eyewitness might be a top tier episode. Before I get to the plot itself, there is something else we need to talk about. So when I reviewed Terry's Friend Dates a Robot, the previous episode, I said that that was the final episode to be hand-drawn, and going forward, they switched to digital. I forget the method. I think it was digital cell shading or something. And the change is very noticeable. This episode looks very different from the previous episodes before it. Both good and bad. For one thing, the colors are much brighter. They just have a lot more pop to them. The line work is really good. Really, the issue, not a problem, not that harsh, is kind of the actual animation. There's some good moments and good sequences, but there are moments where there seems to be frame rate issues. It's very stilted, very stiff, very choppy. Like, there are times when the movement is just like this. If you get what I'm saying. I imagine, and hopefully I'll make a note to remember talking about the animation in the next few episodes going forward. It's just growing pains from the format change, because a lot of this episode does look really good. Now, as for the plot is really where this episode shines and why I enjoy it so much. So, throughout the series, we have had this sort of conflict with Barbara Gordon as the police commissioner. And they've kind of been on again, off again. What's a good way to explain it? Like, there are times when Barbara will welcome Terry's help, and there are times when she doesn't want him involved at all. You know, and in the early episodes, even she refused to have the same working relationship with Terry that her father had with Bruce. Well, in this episode, that conflict finally reaches its head. So, during an encounter with a villain called Mad Stan, he's made one other appearance before. I didn't really talk about him because he seems to be kind of a joke villain who kind of just does his thing, but really his appearance is a catalyst for the rest of the plot of the episode. Mad Stan is essentially an anarchist, you know? He wants chaos. He wants the disestablishment of the government and the ruling class, so to say. And he is also a bomber. So, real subtle, guys. Anyway, the conflict between Terry, Bruce, and Barbara finally reaches its head when it seems like during an encounter, Barbara witnesses Terry kill Mad Stan. Now, I originally thought this episode was going to go through a much different route because it seemed like, to me at any rate, in the past, Terry has killed his enemies before. Like, I don't think quite intentionally, but there has been moments where, you know, again, Terry's enemies have been killed. And it's never really been addressed the way other Batman media addresses Batman's thoughts on killing, where Terry doesn't seem quite as afraid to make that step. I thought this episode was finally going to comment on that, but that's not the case. I don't mean that as a bad thing either, because again, this is a fantastic episode, and the route it does go is very well done. Because now, obviously, having the police commissioner witnessing Batman kill someone, Terry is now on the run from the law, so he has to figure out what's going on while also facing the cops and trying to clear his own name. Will Friedle is once again really good, but this episode, in terms of the performances, belongs to Kevin Conroy and Stockard Channing, who are both amazing because once more we finally get hints of, the deterioration of Bruce and Barbara's relationship while still not hinting at what happened. Thank God. Again, if you want to know, look up the plot synopsis of Bruce Timm's tie-in Batman Beyond comics. It's if you know anything about Bruce Timm, if you know anything about Bruce Timm. But anyway, as I was saying, so Bruce and Barbara are trying to do this tete-a-tete. Barbara's trying to capture Terry, while Bruce is trying to find evidence to clear his name, and they both give stellar performances. Bruce once again being in the role of the detective, Barbara ruthlessly hunting Terry down, even coming into conflict with each other, which are some really good scenes. And what exactly happened? Did Terry kill Mad Stan? I'm not going to spoil this one. Like, I know I said I normally talk about spoilers, but I really, really want you to see this episode for yourself. It's got a reveal that I didn't expect until Bruce figured it out. And, in hindsight, it makes sense, obviously, but it's just really good. Eyewitness is one of the best episodes of Season 2. The animation format is good. They're obviously still working on it, but it is really good for what we have. And the stellar performances and the great writing are really what puts this episode over the top. But those are just my thoughts. Have you seen Eyewitness? What are yours? Start a conversation in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Click the bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload. And in the description box below, you'll find the... Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm not doing that anymore, given Twitter's recent shenanigans. I'm not plugging my Twitter. You'll still find it in the description box. I'm just not going to be plugging it in the video anymore. Anyway, this is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next time.